What's up guys? Today is something super exciting for me personally, and it's going to be my biggest sacred shard pull ever. I think I pulled 20 sacreds couple times, but I don't think I have ever pulled 23 or more than like at once. And I was actually kind of considering skipping this event or pulling on Sunday and so on. But then I actually looked more into this 10x champion, and it's definitely not the best champion in the game or anything like that, but it is an HP scaling champion and a nuker, which makes it kind of interesting, and a spirit affinity. It's great for Harimas and such. I would probably use him to counter Harima if I got him. And overall his kit isn't anything super incredible, but it's actually better than it sounds on paper. So he has 22k base HP. It's kind of average or maybe slightly above average for a nuker HP scaling champion, but it's good. Defense is average. Speed is maybe slightly above average, but many of these, like Mountain King I think has 85 base speed or Rotos, and most champions have below 100, and usually it's supports that have 100 or more than that. So speed is good. It has the full 63 crit damage instead of 50 like some other HP or defense scaling nukers have for some reason. And then the one thing that is actually better than it sounds on paper is the A1. So it attacks one enemy and then attacks all enemies after the first attack is critical. And originally I kind of glanced off this kit, but then when I was kind of reading through the champion and trying to find any reasons for him to be relevant, I realized that the wording in this skill is actually kind of different than on Tranda's A2. And then I asked around and nobody knew for sure. And I looked some videos that people had done on the test server, and it kind of confirmed my suspicions that this skill actually does hit twice on the original target. So if you hit somebody and then you get a critical, then you hit everybody, including the original target again. So for A1 skill it's actually pretty good and better than average, and it's with 0.18 multiplier, HP multiplier, which isn't super high. I mean, Tara's A1 for instance has 0.12, but it hits twice. So 24, and this is 18, but then it's 36 on one target. So it's kind of good, but not like game ending good, but it's an AoE on A1, so it's decent. Then the A2 is basically just another AoE skill with 0.3 multiplier, which is average. It's nothing spectacular for not being an A1 skill. And then it gives him a shield and heals, but this is basically a filler skill. There's nothing interesting here. Then the A3 grants everybody increased crit damage and crit rate for 3 turns. It's okay, but it's nothing spectacular. But you can maybe use this skill to rotate through the debuffs that you have faster. But at the same time, if you have lots of buffs on him from your teammates, you're gonna get rid of them faster with this skill. And then the passive is basically gonna reduce everybody's attack or defense and accuracy or resistance by 5% per hit, depending which one is higher. And since he does do AoE A1, it's definitely going to stack, and I guess you can get like close to the 30% attack or defense reduction on everybody in the enemy team fairly easily. So it's nothing compared to something like Taras. I mean, Taras is a trillion times better, of course, but I'm having really hard time using Mountain King since he only does single target damage and nothing else. And basically the only thing that Mountain King does is that the A2 one-shots most people and nothing else interesting, and there's no AoE, so it's kind of hard to kill any teams with, for instance, Maritzka and a Reviver. And honestly, I'm thinking that this champion will probably be better than Mountain King for me. And since I'm not using any other HP scaling nukers, or I don't have any good ones, I would definitely put my best HP scaling nuker gear on this and give him a go. And I think he might be actually an upgrade for me, so that's why I'm kind of okay to pull shards on this event. And I'm kind of hoping that I will get him, to be honest, but maybe we will be disappointed. I don't have insane expectations for him. I don't think he will be relevant if you have insane account with top champions, but I don't, and I would use him if I had him. So that's why I'm pulling. But of course, what I really want to see is something like Rotos or Harima, or maybe Harima or Rotos. I just want to get one Harima, but 2 Rotos. But I'd rather get Harima, of course, since I don't have any. And then other champions that I would really be interested is Ragas and Candy. I still don't even have Candy after all of these years. I think actually maybe 2 or 3 years ago on summer there was a guaranteed, I think it was ancient event for Candy, but I didn't have enough shards to pull him at the time. He was actually super meta at that time. I think it might even be 3 years ago, because he was meta back then, and that's a long time ago. But I think that's pretty much it. I mean, it is what it is. There's only few meta champions, and most of them are voids, so of course those are the ones that I really want to get. But as far as live arena goes, Harima is definitely one of the top 3 nukers with Rotos and Harima, and it's an insane counter to Rotos, so if I have both of them, it would give me like much more options to build my teams, and I wouldn't have to be as scared of enemy Harimas anymore. And also I wouldn't encounter the issue that I'm facing right now, that I basically have 2 good nukers, Rotos and Wukong, and pretty much 100% of the fights, at least one of them is picked or banned, and sometimes even both of them. But usually what happens is that enemy picks Wukong or Rotos, and then I get one of them, which they ban, and then I'm fighting them with like Mountain King or whatever, and I'm like, I'm reconsidering my life choices and thinking what led here, and is life fair, and something bad that I'm not gonna say on YouTube, but never mind. Let's not get to those negative thoughts. Let's be optimist, and maybe I'll actually get something relevant today. I mean, last time that we had the Void 2x with Siphi 10x, I got insanely lucky and I pulled 3 legendaries. Granted, the first pull was a pity pull, and I got Nekret, Emik, and what was the third one? Tuhanarak. Tuhanarak is pretty good for PvE, possibly for PvP too in bomb teams, but I won't be able to pull those teams off. I don't have a fast arbiter, and I don't have the empowerment to do those teams, but maybe in future. Emik is of course irrelevant, and we already got one from the fusion. And then Nekret, it's kind of ironic because I haven't pulled that many Void Legendaries. I think I have pulled, is it 11 or 12 Void Legendaries now in total, after almost 5 years. That's counting that I just pulled 3 of them. And I mean, I can't complain. I mean, Nekret is definitely the best champion that I have ever pulled. But out of those 11 or 12 legendaries, 3 of them have been Nekret, so I was really hoping for it to be something else relevant, like any lockout champion, Taras, Maritska, Siphi, something like that. But I got another Nekret which I empowered, and I still kept the second one, and I haven't been using it for a while, but I'm still saving it and not empowering it. But anyway, that's for the history. Oh nice, we got the free-to-play pack, as I like to call it. Anyway, so let's get into the pools. Like, I've been waiting for this all week, and probably I'm gonna get disappointed because I'm always way too optimistic, but let's see some game-breaking pools today and get both Harima and Rotos. How about that? Or let's get Harima, Rotos, and the new Krok champion. Let's get all of them. Statistically speaking, I should get somewhere between 2 and 3 legendary champions with this many sacreds. But of course, the PT system doesn't really work quite the same for legendaries. So it's possible that I don't even get a single legendary champion from sacred shards. Yeah, I'm kind of speaking myself like to oblivion. Anyway, honestly, some of these new epics I haven't even looked into them. I mean, well, I have like quickly glanced through them, but I basically forgot all of their kits that are not like something super interesting. So, oh, okay, come on. That's my 5th Brockney. That's okay. This is the first champion that I can make +4. It's kind of funny. I have spoken about it before that there was only one champion that I could make +3. Nothing that I can make +4, and one champion that I could make +3 in the past, and that's Brockney. So now I could basically make a +4 Brockney if I wanted to, but that's of course not going to happen, and he's filling my faction guardians, but I guess that option is out there if he's ever meta. Brockney is definitely usable, even in the Initve team, and has been in other more like classic arena offense teams in the past, but he isn't really meta. I don't like, just for offense I don't think his empowerment would be a big deal, but if there ever was a reason why he would be good in defense, maybe some new champion that would synergize incredibly well with his passive that heals and reflects from shields, maybe it would be possible that I would empower him, but for now I'm not touching it. Anyway, okay, that's one troll pull out of the way. Let's get something. Come on, just give me a nuker. Even Candy, Ragas, just not even Harima, just give me something to play around with. Come on. I'm begging for this every time, and I keep getting disappointed. But come on, it's bound to happen at some point. I really don't care about any epics or PvE champions at all. I kind of, I mean, I can do all of the PvE content on full auto, so it is what it is, and I don't really care if the times are, super fast or slow, as long as I can do them full auto. Okay, we got Kyoku. When she was originally released, I think maybe a couple years ago, some people kind of try to use her in classic arena defense, but she isn't that interesting. I think some people use her in tag team arena, but everybody's using lockout or double Taras in classic arena offense anyway, so she isn't really relevant. I mean, she's easily countered by lockout, and doesn't, even if she isn't locked out, she doesn't really add anything spectacular to the team, just some defense buffs and block damage and ally protection. But anyway, I guess we got faction guardians upgrade, which is kind of a long-term goal on my account, that they definitely do give a huge amount of stats. Like, let's say that I was building somebody in support build with accuracy or resist, or maybe even both. If I get 10 speed and 30 resistance from faction guardians, it's a huge deal, and it can even be the difference that can you build like a resistance Skymar or not. So honestly, when you have pretty good gear, you get much bigger upgrades on your account from faction guardians and empowerment than you get from gear. Like if you get one extra roll on one item, like you already have pretty good items, and then you get some insanely good item, and let's say that you get 10 more accuracy or 5 more crit damage, it's really not that big deal. Even if you have mediocre gear but you have empowerment and faction guardians, that's, you still have insanely strong champions. That the gear is kind of taking a backseat at that point. So I definitely want to feel all of these at some point, and that is one of the reasons, for instance, that I'm not empowering my Brok even if I could make him +4. By the way, luckily the first faction that I maxed was Undead. I think I had it maxed instantly when Faction Guardians was released, and I have gotten several extra champions here as well. And like basically I got Demon Spawn and Undead maxed first, and those are one of the most important factions anyway, so I got kind of lucky there. But then many champions I'm not even close to finishing, and in Ogrun I don't even have a single champion yet, so that's kind of funny that it eludes me. But then also I don't think there's anything I really want to get on Ogrun. Actually, I didn't do Gerbtak fusion. I had I quit the game like before him, or I'm not like maybe like I came back to the game maybe like I don't recall, maybe 4 months, 6 months after before Gerbtak fusion, and I think I had just done some other fusion, and I kind of didn't have any resources, and everybody was feeling that Gerbtak is crap and there's no reason to do him, and that's why I didn't do the Gerbtak fusion, even though I probably could have done it. I think I probably would have had to spend some money to do the fusion, but I probably could have done it with relative difficulty, with little bit spending. And nowadays in Hydra he's actually very relevant, so I kind of do wish I would have him, but other than that I don't think anybody else is very relevant, so definitely not the non-void champions at least. Okay, so we got 2 in was it 9 pulls? Yeah, 9 pulls, so that's pretty good RNC number wise. So if we get one more legendary, we definitely can't complain, and we got average amount of legendaries or slightly. Okay, nice. Cupidos. Okay, so we got the 3 out of 23, which is honestly more than we should expect, so I guess it is what it is. I think that was my first Cupidos. Wait, it's not no, Cupidos is Sacred Order, right? I'm pretty sure it's Sacred Order and not Banner Lords. Yeah, that was actually my first Cupidos, which is kind of funny because I have played the game from the start. I'm pretty sure Cupidos was in the game from the beginning. Maybe I remember wrong, but I think it's likely that Cupidos was since the beginning of the game. But there is way too many legendary champions that it's so hard to get what you want. Come on. 11 shards more to go. Just give me one of those nukers that I mentioned. Cupidos isn't it, but just give me Ragas. I can work with Ragas. That's a pretty cool looking champion, but sadly it's not relevant. I wish. Okay, here's some feedback. Like I always like to complain about Plarium. They put so much effort into the graphics and they do great job at it. I wish they could put like, I don't know, like 1000 of that effort into balancing the game. That's all I'm asking. Just put 1000 of the effort that you put into the graphics, put that into balancing to the game. Please, I beg of you. Please balance the game, nerf some champions and buff some others. Okay. Some random champion that maybe some people used in Clan Boss years ago. I mean, it's a relatively new champion, but I remember he was kind of considered a Clan Boss champion, but obviously not relevant to me. So we're getting great rates, we're just getting a load of crap that I have no use to. Come on. What? Okay, I'm just getting trolled by Plarium at this point. I'm getting so many damn legendaries and nothing is relevant. It's just, okay, take this random champion that you're never going to use and be happy with it. I think there was also, when Helior was released, I think there was a guaranteed sacred event for him. And some people were using him a bit in Classic Arena Defense for a while. I think that was actually before I joined MAD, because I think that's maybe like closer to three years ago, maybe 2.5, 3 years ago, something like that. And I remember there was somebody, I was in Tomb of Nazarick at that time. I remember there was somebody in the clan that was using him in reset defense with relatively good success, I guess. But of course nowadays, with the power creep of Taras and Maritska and other new champions, is completely irrelevant, so it is what it is. Okay, come on. I mean, I know I got lots of legendaries, but come on, just give me a good nuker. You can do it. Just give me a break this once. Next time I'm gonna have this many sacred shards, is gonna be like in 4 months or something, so this doesn't really happen too many times per year for me. Come on, let's get one more at least. One more crap legendary champion. Come on. Give me Harima. Just give me Harima. Nope. Well, it is what it is. I mean, I say that every time I do a shard pull, but it is what it is. So, yeah, we got 5 legendaries. That's almost double that I should get on average. With 23 shards, I should get something, I think maybe like 2.6 legend. Like some math guy can correct me because I'm not really math guy, but I think I should get like not 3, somewhere between 2 and 3 legendaries with 23 sacreds, and we did get 5, so that's good. And I think we got 1 faction guardian upgrade and 1 potential +4 champion, but basically all of the champions are completely irrelevant to me. So I mean, Cupidus could be good if I had Venus, so the meta where Cupidus was relevant is kind of long gone, and he's definitely not usable against any Taras teams because Taras is insanely tanky and his passive will completely, or both of his passive, or like 2 of his many passives are both gonna completely destroy Cupidus because Taras is gonna counterattack, and then he's also gonna reduce Cupidus attack by 10% for every hit that Cupidus does, so he's not relevant anymore. But if I had both of them, maybe I could use it in Tag Team Arena, where I don't really struggle anyway, but that's pretty much it. Kyoku, I think some desperate people use her in Tag Team Arena defense, but I wouldn't even use it there. Narma, maybe Clan Boss 3 years ago. Not relevant. I have a good Clan Boss team and it's full auto, and I'm never gonna change the team, so... Brockney, I have actually used many times in Classic Arena Defense in the past, before I had a Duchess, but since I did get Duchess, I have never used him and I probably never will, unless it happens like I mentioned, that maybe if there's some new champion or item set or something that would have insane synergy with his passive, that will reflect 25% of the damage down to the shields, and then heal by 25% of that damage. If there was something like that that would synergize with it, maybe he could be meta. Maybe if there was some kind of, maybe even a nuker, something like Taras, some insanely OP nuker that with his passive puts shield on everybody or something every turn, maybe he could be good then, but... And Helior, yeah, I don't think there's any part of the game where he's relevant. I guess his thing is that converts these champions. I thought this was the passive, but I kind of forgot. Converts these champions' resistance into additional accuracy, so you can basically build him with both accuracy and resistance since you go full accuracy, and then I guess you can steal some defense and do some AoE with the A2, but he's definitely not relevant in PvP. Let's see, did I unlock some other faction guardians that I didn't realize, but I don't think I did. Oh yeah, I did add Kyoku, yeah. I did add her, but I think that was my first Narma and so on. Anyway, that's it for this video. I can't complain, but as always, I wish that you get better luck with your shard pulls, and that's it. See ya.